Hello, all you active listening chapter book readers. We're back again with our chapter book reading. Humphrey's Really Wheelie Racing Day. Written by Betty G. Burney. Illustrated by Priscilla Burrus. Think about it. Would you rather be an author of a story, the person that writes the words, or would you like to be the illustrator? A lot of times when a person writes a book, a picture book or a chapter book, they might not even know the illustrator. They might send the book out to different illustrators to see who can draw the pictures that they feel matches their book style the best. So they could even live in different states or, I suppose, different countries. I'm not sure about that. But I think that's very cool that, two people work on a book and sometimes don't even know each other. All right. We finished up with chapter 3, I believe, and now we're working on chapter 4. Yes, we are. And we remember what happened in chapter 3. Humphrey had his heart set on what? Yes, a race car. And did he get one? I can't remember. You are right. He did get a race car. He got a race car, and thankfully, Mrs. Brisbane put it in a special spot. Do you remember what the special spot was? I think you probably do, or not. It was on the bottom shelf, because remember, if it was up high on the top shelf, then Humphrey wasn't going to be able to get to it. But she put it on the bottom shelf. This allowed Humphrey to get the race car out, which, kind of is mischievous. That means a little bit sneaky, a little bit naughty, and because he wanted to drive the car. What was the big problem that happened in that story? In that last chapter, do you remember? Think about it. Very good. Yes. Humphrey got to going way, way too fast. He was going so very fast that he got stuck in a corner. That's right, corner. And what did Humphrey, I don't know why I keep saying Henry, what did Humphrey spend his night doing? Do you remember? Very good. Yes, he had to push that a hamster car back near the low shelf, the bottom shelf. And it took him all night long because he's just a little old thing and the car is bigger than him. And he had to push and push and push and push. And it wasn't easy work. But he was so grateful he got it to the corner. And then he couldn't get back on the bookshelf, of course, but he hoped that Mrs. Brisbane would think that it got bumped by Aldo, the custodian, or something. So we met another character last night in chapter 3, Aldo. He was the custodian that brought treats for the pets, which was really kind of him. And Aldo loved to go into that classroom, I guess, to see the cute animals, the cute class pets. All right, let's get going on reading. A really big day. For the next few days, Mrs. Brisbane let me practice racing my car around room 26 while my friends took spelling tests and learned about measuring. No picture, just Humphrey wearing his number 4 on his shirt. One afternoon, they made little banners on sticks. We can wave them to cheer Humphrey and Winky on, Mrs. Brisbane explained. I let Winky ride his car every night, Mandy said. Good, I squeaked. May the best hamster win. As soon as I said it, I realized that in the end, Winky might end up winning. But at least I'd give the race my best. What a great sport. So he knows that all he can do is give his best. Just like we ask of you every day, your parents, me, to just try your best. That's all you ever have to do is try your best. You win sometimes, you lose sometimes, you do it great sometimes, not so great sometimes. But as long as you've tried your best, that's all you can expect from yourself. Friday was a very surprising day. First, Mandy arrived at school with Winky. She put his cage on the table by the window next to mine. Ooh, it's a hamster play date. Hamster play date. Hamsters in the house. Winky had never been to school before. After sitting through the morning lessons, Winky told Og and me that he thought being a classroom pet was wonderful. But I still love being Mandy's hamster, he said. Of course he did. After lunch, Mrs. Brisbane announced that the race was about to begin. The whole class lined up and went out into the big hallway. Mandy carried Winky's cage. Miranda carried my cage. What about Og? He'll feel left out, AJ said. Oh, no, he won't, Mrs. Brisbane said. I have a surprise for Og. A surprise for Og? What could it be? Some of the other classes from Longfellow School were already lined up on both sides of the hallway. Woo! This race is going to be for everyone, not just the kids in room 26. How exciting, like a real race. Down the middle, rows of wooden blocks divided the lanes. There were two red lines taped to the floor. One line was marked start, the other line was marked finish. Some of the students had stopwatches, rulers, and notebooks. I'm not sure what they were going to do, but they looked so excited about the race. Would you be excited? I know, I'm just excited thinking about it. In my brain, I'm visualizing lots and lots of children in a hallway, sitting on both sides of the hallway. I'm picturing the wooden blocks down the middle. I'm picturing a start line and a finish line on both sides. And I'm picturing children with their rulers and their notebooks. Boy, I have a whole visualization going on in my brain. I wonder what they're going to do with the notebooks. I wonder what they're going to do with the rulers. Let's see. Mr. Morales stood by the line marked finish. He wore a tie with little race cars on it. Students, the great hamster race is about to begin, he said. My classmates cheered and waved their banners. Here you go, Humphrey, Mrs. Brisbane said as she put me down in my really car. She closed the top and set the car on the start line. Mandy put Winky in his blue car and set it next to mine. Ooh, so exciting. You know, at a real car race, I think they take a pistol, they shoot it straight up in the air, and I don't even know if a bullet comes out. I think it's just a noise-making gun, but they go, on your marks, get ready, and you have to hear the sound, and then you take off. That happens at some running races, too. Okay. Good luck, pal, I squeaked. Same to you, Hump, Wink replied. Oh, looky there. You see the kids sitting on both rows. Here's the banner. Here's the clipboard. Here's the other side. You see the back of the kids. So they're all ready for the race. Here's the starting line. Here must be, I don't know. I think this one it is Humphrey, I believe, because there's that lightning bolt. Humphrey, and here's Winky. Mr. Morales said, ready, set, go. Mrs. Brisbane gave both cars a gentle push. I didn't waste any time in getting that wheel spinning. I kept my eyes straight ahead as I spun faster and faster. Go, Humphrey, go, the students called. Roll, Wink, roll, they cheered. I looked back at Winky's lane. I was ahead, but Winky's car wasn't far behind me. I spun my wheel even faster. And then a terrible thing happened. I was spinning as fast as I could, but my really car wasn't moving. Oh no! You can see this little girl is like, oh no. And the children are like, oh no. I wonder why it's not moving. What is your idea? Let's see. Maybe it got stuck on a piece of something on the ground. I'm so sorry. I have a little tickle. Maybe it's up against the blocks. Maybe he turned and went against the blocks. That's kind of what it looks like. Or maybe something got stuck in his wheel. I don't know. I bet you have some excellent predictions. Think about it. What happened? It had rolled up against a wooden block. I was stuck. I heard people moaning, "Oh no, Humphrey!" I heard the crowd shout, "Go, Winky!" There's the finish line. Winky was going to win. I spun and spun, but the car didn't budge. So I did the only thing I could think of. I reached up and pushed the lid of the car as hard as I could. Success! The top opened and I crawled out of the car. Maybe I couldn't win the race in my car, but I could still cross that finish line. The children got louder and louder, and as I raced for the finish line, I saw the banners waving above me. Here he is. He's running so fast, trying to at least cross the finish line. You know, what I like about it is that he didn't say, I had to win, I had to win, I had to win. Because remember, we talked earlier about when you're doing something, it's always the best idea to try your best. You might win, you might lose, you might do a great job, you might do a poor job because you just didn't do that great. But if you try your best, that's all that anybody can ever expect you to do. This chapter is pretty long, and I've got this tickle in my throat. So I think I'll read a page more and see where we end up. I glanced up over the wooden blocks. Winky's blue car was just inches ahead of me. I ran and ran as fast as my paws could carry me, and I passed that blue car. The finish line was right in front of me, so I sprinted and sprinted, and Winky's blue car crossed the line a few seconds later. I'd won, or so I thought. Humphrey, 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 the crowd cheered. Okay, let's see. I'm going to stop right there because it's a good place to stop. And we can read it some more tomorrow. But it looks like Henry thinks he's won. And the children are still cheering for him. So what do you think? Did you think he won? He thinks he won. And let's see if that's the case. And we'll check that out tomorrow. Oh, I hate to finish books because then I know what happens at the very end. And although I want to know what happens at the very end, it's always so exciting to get to the end. I feel like I've gotten to know the characters. I feel like I'm like really into the story, and then comes the ending point, and I feel like I'm sad in a small way because the story's over. So I think it'll be good if we stretch this chapter out just a little bit longer. Okay, thank you so much for being active listeners. I know that you used your eyes and your ears and your heart, your whole body and your brain. That's why you were able to make some good predictions. That's why you're able to think about the problems and the solutions and the excitement that's going on in the stories. And that's just terrific. I did a truck driver cheer with you yesterday, and we're going to do the same one today. And maybe this time, since I got all my explaining out, I'll get it all in sequence all together. You know, Miss Cochran sometimes has to do things over and over again. But did you know that that's how we learn to do things? We do them over and over and over again until we really learn how to do them. So that's why we practice things at school over and over and over again, because it really helps us learn. So with that said, let's do our truck driver cheer. Okay, I told you I was going to stand up, but I can't because then the computer will go all over the place. So you can stand up and pretend to step into your big truck and put your seatbelt on. Click. And you're going to grab the steering wheel. You're going to take the keys. You're going to turn it on. I better slow down. I'm on a bumpy road. Beep, beep. Good job, good buddy. Yay. I'm going to give you a round of applause. I'm going to leave you with our positive affirmation. Hopefully you've been saying this even when I'm not there. I know you are. I say it all the time. It helps me. So I am smart. I am kind. I am honest. I am silly. I am brave. I am loved. Yes, you are. I love you to pieces, miss you to pieces. I think about you all the time. Super proud of everything that you're doing, all the work that I get to see every single day from you. It's just incredible and amazing and wonderful. And you just make me so proud. I am going to reach for you, give you my good virtual hug. And you know what we could even call this? We could call this a social distancing hug. That's the big grown-up term these days. You are practicing social distancing, and that is we're keeping our distance away from other people, because remember, we're doing our part to help keep the world safe and healthy. And it's really, really important that we play our part and do our job as citizens of the United States of America and citizens of San Jose. So I'm giving you my social distancing hug, and I want you to know that I'm super proud of you, okay? Until tomorrow, I'm going to drink a bunch of water so I don't get that tickle in my throat, because that's no fun. And it's just because I talk a lot all day long. But that's okay. I love talking. I love sending you messages and comments about your fine, fine work. Have a great rest of the day. Be good.